especially into this today
Good.
because it's Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
hello,
yeah.
everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Happy Hour, special Friday edition, and a very special show today because I have my good friend and colleague, Miss Carole Greenzalis. Carole, how the heck are you?
Hayden, I'm living the dream. I really am. I'm so happy to be here.
I love it. Thanks for being on. I was thinking about people that I wanted to bring on. I think that you're one of my favorite people to joke with. I think
Oh,
it's an
no.
improv thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So no pressure, but be funny
Well, it's like
on the show.
there's just some people you can do bits with, and then I catch myself like doing bits with other people or accents, and they're like, what's happening? What are you doing? And you're like, no, we're not British.
I get it.
Okay. All right.
This isn't happening.
Yeah. If you're on a work call, Carole, that's not the time for a bit.
I love it. Well, how has your week been? What's been going on?
It's been pretty crazy. I work for Northwestern Medicine, and so all of our hospitals have just been, as you can imagine, bombarded. So I'm in the real estate division there. So we've been working with figuring out how to move all the departments around so that we can place enough patients and potentially putting overflow patients in a hotel. So it's been a lot and very stressful, but we're trying to just see the positive in it and just kind of understand, like, we have gotten so much support from the community and just everyone's like so understanding and happy to help. So that's been like a positive in it all, but it's still just a ton of work.
Nice.
So
yeah, totally get that. And you're in Delaware now, correct? So you're not
Delaware,
in
Ohio. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I came to my in-laws. There's probably like a coyote outside my window. It's fine.
That's exciting. Though,
Yeah, no, it's a blessing, like just being able to have all this space. So it's been good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Carole, the way that I love starting these shows is with a question, and everyone watching, I would love for you to also share your answer to this question. The question is, what is making you happy right now?
Oh my gosh. So my family actually jokes because we go around at Thanksgiving and we always say like what we're thankful for. And we've had to implement a rule that we can only say one thing, because like even when I was a little girl, I would just like say 8 things that I'm like thankful for. And I'd be like, the sun, and also water, and also headphones are convenient. And they're just like, stop. So immediately when I see this question, I'm like, all sorts of things, like being here with you, like the fact that you're doing this on your platform is so, so cool and so needed. I'm trying to think what else, like the sun being out, like legitimately is making a huge difference. So yeah, I'd say those 2 for now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see what's making me happy today. So I've avoided saying weather because it's like it's the easy one. Like it's a go-to, right?
Okay.
Like
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, but I'm just next time. But it is today though. It's like absolutely been the thing I was saying earlier. Like I literally went outside and I laid down on the ground and just sat in the sun for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just so nice and needed and necessary. So I think that's making me very happy. I was supposed to run a 6-hour virtual boot camp today, 6-hour workshop, and I like prepped the whole week for it. And there was 3 people that had signed up and 1 person showed up today for this boot camp. Yeah.
What did you do?
I went through the content. We went through the content.
Oh,
We did the boot camp. So it only ended up, it only took like 2 hours, which was like, it was fine. I think she got value out of it, and I got paid, so it was fine. But part of the thing that made me happy was then I had like the whole rest of the day off. I was like, oh, nice. I was supposed to be like teaching, the whole rest of the day, and I was chilling. So I love that. And this is
like, hey, everybody, can everybody hear me? And she's like, it's just me. It's Patricia. I'm here.
He's so awkward. I had group activities planned. I should have done that. I should have just like played like multiple different people in the group.
Okay, Patricia, turn to the person to your right and tell them your high and your low of the day. Just be like, I'm in my apartment alone with my dog. I cannot do that.
That's the low.
Yeah.
This is a very similar question, somewhat similar question, but also different. It's, what are you most grateful for today?
I'd say the weather. No, I'm just kidding. I would probably say I'm most grateful for, I would just say like the people in my life. Why am I going to cry? Oh my gosh. Get a grip, Carole. I just think like I'm really grateful that I have the means to be able to connect with them virtually. Because I know of a lot of families, whether they're like students of my mom's or that my friends have tutored, that just don't have internet access and don't have a laptop and don't have these tools that can connect them to human interaction. And that's like the only thing that's keeping me and like my family sane. So I just try and like remember that I need to not take that for granted. And I'm super grateful for that. So that was deep. Good luck.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's interesting. I was thinking about, before I moved into the apartment that I live in now, I was living by myself. I was living alone.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't imagine doing that, like doing this kind of like quarantining and social distancing and all that kind of stuff, like just being alone by myself. So I feel very grateful for my roommate, the guy that I live with. He and I are very much so on the same wavelength. He runs his own business. So we just have like a lot to talk about and a lot to click on. And so, even though I'm like not seeing anybody else, it's like just nice to have that kind of human interaction.
Totally.
I think it's so important.
Definitely.
So this is one of my favorite parts of this show. And it's time for the random question of the day. Carole, are you ready for your random question of the day?
Fine, bring it on.
I'm generating your random question now. Here we go.
Thank you.
Carole, what's the biggest wager you've ever made?
The biggest wager I've ever made. I'm not a risk taker. So I would say, what's the biggest wager I've ever made?
Maybe risk. Like maybe that's a question too.
I think like maybe I don't know. Probably just when I first graduated college, I think a lot of my friends were getting offers with companies and just taking them and not necessarily having it be their dream job, but having it be just a job in general. And I went a different path where I worked like different temp jobs within different industries until I found the one that made the most sense for me. And that was like a really rough period because I was working just like one job for a month, and then I wouldn't have a job for like 2 weeks, and then I'm working another job for 3 weeks, and then so it was like a weird, like right after college, you've got student loans like coming in, you have no income, you know what I mean? It's just like, this is the time of your life where you're supposed to like start building some stability. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep doing it the way I want to do it. So, and I like luckily ended up more in like down a path that I am like more proud of.
That's awesome. Yeah. Totally. Well, I hear like the willingness and the commitment to figuring out more like, hey, what is it I actually want to do? What's the path that I want to be on versus what's the thing that I think that I'm supposed to be doing or like should be doing. So yeah, I want to acknowledge there's a lot of courage. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of guts.
Thank you.
So nice work. Biggest wager I've ever made. I mean, I bet my house a couple of times at the casino. So, but I won. So that, that was a positive.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
Do you know who Jesse Itzler is?
I do know who Jesse Itzler is. I saw him speak last year at a Summit of Greatness conference in Ohio.
Cool. Yeah. He just posted a really cool thing on Instagram about how when he was first starting his company, I don't know if you saw the post, but they had like $50,000 to their to the name of their company. And one of the partners they're working with was like, hey, we've got these front row tickets to some basketball team. I'm not in sports, and they're like $350,000 for the season. And Jesse's like, we'll take them. And his partner's like, what are you doing? Like, we have $50,000. Why we don't have another 300,000 for these basketball like season tickets? But then he went on to explain how he used those tickets to get clients and meet people and eventually made their money back like 10, 20, 50 times over. And I thought that was a really cool story.
I love that, man. He's a big risk taker, which is cool.
Yeah.
My question is, where is the next place you want to visit? That is a great question. I would say, well, so I have two answers. So one is the place where I haven't traveled that I would want to go to, and that's Barcelona, Spain. The second place is Denver, Colorado, because I just haven't been there in a while and I miss it. So I like want to go back and visit and say what's up. It's a bummer. I don't think I'll be able to go, and because I really like snowboarding, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to go this season, just given everything that's happening.
You'll have to wait until next year.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll go twice as much next year, so
that's the
I'll make up for it.
There we go.
Okay, amazing. So the next game is called Who Drew It Better, and here's the fun thing, Carol. You ready for this?
No.
So how this typically works is
I have to go.
I will ask the people who are watching to give us suggestions of things to draw, and it actually doesn't look like anyone is currently watching. So what that means is that we are going to I'm going to generate random topics. We're going to draw it anyways, and then we're going to have a very fruitful discussion about the merits of each of our drawings and what they bring to the table. Perfect. How's that sound? Okay, amazing. All right, let me get this set up here.
You know all the right generators. You've got like a generator.
I got the whole everything. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Do you have it open on your screen, the drawing?
I do.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, let me go to okay, so we might have to do this a couple times to get one that works, but here I also want to here we go. Okay, now you can see the random. So this is the random generator. So this is where we will get the genius, brilliant suggestion for what our drawing is going to be.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Video buyer.
Oh, video buyer. That's
video
easy.
Buyer. Okay.
Bring it on.
Wait, let me set the. Okay, I have to set the timer here. Ready?
All right.
All right, we have 2 minutes. Don't start thinking about it yet because I haven't started thinking about it.
What do you mean? I can't stop my brain.
No. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes on the clock. All right, here.
I only need 30 seconds.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Video buyer.
Okay, video buyer.
Is that $1 or is that a VHS tape?
We will discuss it at the end. This is a VHS cassette tape, clearly.
Obviously, I know I can see that. VHS tapes, man.
All right, here we go. Yeah. You got it here.
1 minute left.
Okay. I'll mess yours up a little bit here. All right.
That's definitely cheating, but it's okay.
Okay. That's that.
I like your color choices.
Thank you. Now I'm going to do that thing where I try and add more detail and it's just turning into a Lego.
So you've got it. You've got the core pieces down and now it's just making it even better.
Yeah, we'll make him a ginger here.
20 seconds left.
Oh my God, I'm shaking. This is the most nervous I've been in a really long time. Okay, let's make it a girl here. And then
I like her red hair.
Thank you. She's been in quarantine, so she's usually a blonde, but her true roots came out. And
that's the end of 2 minutes. Pencils down. Pencils down, everyone. Okay. So,
why
Carole.
is mine like all centered weird? Oh my gosh, I didn't even see what you were drawing. Blockbuster. That's unbelievable. Oh my gosh, you win.
This was also, and I'm not trying to brag, but this is all from memory. Like, this is like literally straight from my memory. So we'll start with your drawing. We'll do what we really appreciate, and then we'll talk about opportunities. What's the opportunity? So I think in your drawing, what I really appreciate is it's very direct, right? Like, like I see straight it and I'm like, oh, I know what that is. It's that VHS and then money sign, like, but buying a video.
Yeah.
Opportunity. I think the size ratio is a bit off. Like, either it's a very large VHS tape or it's a very small woman, and I can't tell which is which.
I was going for 3D.
Oh, okay. So I see that.
Yeah. She's in the back. She's about 20 yards away.
It's a spatial thing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay,
it adds depth to the picture. So
now that I see it, I'm okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay, all right. Okay, and how about my picture?
Yours is good. I appreciate the very straight lines. Very impressive.
Thank you.
And thumbs up. Always positive with you. Party hat. I really appreciate the overall message. Room for improvement. What is this person doing, and why are they out naked? Put some clothes on this guy. And is he returning the video? It's not clear that he's buying it. Yeah, not clear.
Okay, I see that. I will thank you for your constructive feedback. I'm going to take that into account in my next drawing.
Okay, you obviously won, so let's just do a little gold star.
We'll call it a tie.
Okay.
We'll call it a tie.
That was my gold star for you.
Amazing. Well, Carole, thank you for playing that with me.
That was so fun.
Very much so appreciated that. Amazing. Well, we are at that time of the show. It's time for the quote of the day. Carole, are you ready for the quote of the day?
60% chance that I cry. I'm just giving you a heads up. I love quotes. So yes, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Quote of the day is, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon. Nobody's named Napoleon anymore.
We should bring that name back.
We absolutely should.
I'm going to name my first child Napoleon.
That's what I got from that quote. Nobody's named Napoleon anymore.
Good. That's exactly. I was like, I hope that Carole picks up on this name from this quote. And you did. So you nailed it.
Great. Good.
So thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Take it
easy. I really love this quote. And the thing that I hear in this quote, and it's interesting because so much of my work with people is about them deciding to just go after the things that they want. And for so many people, the fear is like, well, what happens if it doesn't work, or what happens if I mess it up, or what happens if people make fun of me, or like whatever it is. And it stops so many people from even like starting and moving towards the experience that they want to create for themselves, or the job that they want to have, or the relationship that they want to have. And it's like this thinking that you have to have it all figured out before you start. And it's just not how it works. Like, you just go do it, and then you figure it out as you go along.
And I feel like a lot of people truly believe that they're wired differently. Like, some people are like, oh, I just am not motivated. I'm not as motivated as you are. And it's like, I don't want to work out. But I'm like pushing myself. It's actually really funny you have this quote, because I've really, like, this whole quarantine situation has pushed me to realize, like, I really want to be fit this year. Like, that is my goal for 2020. Like, just fit. But I wasn't working out like the first week or two. And I have a treadmill. I've got some hand weights. My father-in-law is a personal trainer and I have all the time. So it's like, what if I literally do not have any excuses and the world is in quarantine? Like if I cannot work out now, then I'm never going to do it. I'm just never going to do it. And I've been using that to read books that I want to read and do projects I want to work on. Like I just have no excuse. And I don't know if that like kind of falls in line with what this quote is exactly saying, but that's been like something that I've been using to push me. So
nice. That's awesome. It's so positive.
Yeah.
Well, Carole, we find ourselves at the end of our program this evening. And do you have any parting words for the folks listening? Any gems, words of wisdom, things you'd leave us with?
One of the quotes that I really liked that I saw from Rachel Hollis was, the bad news is anything can happen in 30 days, but the good news is anything can happen in 30 days. And I really want to like share that with people because I think that's a really important message, and it kind of just shows how it represents like, what are you going to do with this time, this extremely unique time with the resources that you have. And it's totally in your control, what you can do. And so I would say that, because that's been like made a huge impact with me. So
I love it. Well, it's also like the thing I hear in that is like, even when it seems like nothing is working or everything's screwed or whatever it is, like literally something could happen tomorrow that completely shifts your perspective. And I found that to be true too. Sometimes I get in these funks and then I'm like, wait, why am I in this funk? Like literally tomorrow something could happen that would totally evaporate all the fear that I had around this thing. So why don't I just expect this thing to happen tomorrow? Just pretend like it's going to happen.
It's all a mindset, Hayden.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, Carole, thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. It's been a pleasure. Let me know when you make it back to Chicago, because I would love to hang out in person.
Totally. We'll get coffee.
Stay safe. Amazing.
Thank you. You're doing such cool work.
Thanks, Carole. Everyone listening, love y'all. See y'all very, very soon. Bye, everybody.